I know you're gonna dig this.
Well, for the second for one, and now there's the man trapped at third and tagging out. And 2nd and 2, handoff goes to McCaffrey up the middle, finds a little room, lot more room, and he's off to the races.
Welcome to the In the Zone Sports Talk Radio Network. You're listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show with your host, Kate Diggs from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with the large heart, and co-host Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida. Also co-hosted Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. These are your hosts, bringing you the ultimate in sports news for the ultimate sports fan. Be sure to download the Try 99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support. Now sit back and prepare to get into another episode of the Just Us Sports Talk Show.
I know you're gonna dig this.
What's up? What's up? What's up, everybody? Happy Monday. I hope you guys I know y'all lost an hour of sleep, but you picked up some kind of way today, or you picked it up before you got up yesterday or Sunday, or however you got it. Hopefully you got that extra hour of sleep. Me personally, I like this time better than I like the other time. I just hate when it gets dark, because as you get older and it gets darker, your body say it's time to go to bed. It could be 8:30. Your body's like, it's time to go to bed. But if the sun's up and it's 8:30, you're like, hey, I'm gonna sit on my porch, pour me some cognac, put on some jazz, and I'm gonna relax. And I'm going to relax. And I'm just going to relax. But anyway, hope you guys had a good weekend. We got a lot of stuff to go over today. I'm looking for something real quick here. I'm looking. I don't know if he's on their roster as of yet. Yeah, he is on the roster. I gotta pull this crap up. Before we go on, make sure you guys say a prayer for Dana. He's gonna be gone for a while, taking care of his father. I haven't had a chance to talk to him, so I'm trying to give him a call maybe later on tonight or sometime tomorrow to get an update on how things going with his father. But I know his father is home and he's taking care of him. Miss Vena's father is doing better, but you know, he's a strong man. He's trying to hang on for whatever reason he may want to hang on. So also say a prayer for them. Also, my wife lost her aunt last week. Aunt Joan Gilchrist. She was she was a funny person, man. She was a funny person. She was like, she would sit in front of her TV and she watched Westerns. And I remember my wife's grandmother said to her sister, why you watch these Westerns all the time? Everybody you watching is dead. You know what I'm saying? But she loved the Westerns. And so we kind of communicated with her. Me and her kind of communicate, because I record all of Daniel Boone stuff, right? Every movie, everything, every series that Daniel Boone did, I recorded them and I watch them over and over again. But it's just one of those things. I'm a big Western guy. I love Western movies. So me and her kind of hit it off there. But also, she was in the sport. She played basketball with my aunt, so she was an athletic lady as well. But she passed away last Friday, or Friday before last, I think it was. So keep the Gilchrists in your prayers as well. Aunt Joan, we miss you. We miss you now. We're gonna miss you more. But we love you. We know you're in a better place. To get to 90 is a prayer. I mean, that's a blessing to get to 90 and have all you being cognitive. You knew everybody. You know, we walk in her house, she knew exactly who you were. It's not like, baby, what's your name? You know, she knew exactly who we were. Actually, in like my daughter started off, well, here's a little story about my daughter. During the COVID situation, she said, Dad, I need a hobby or something. I was like, okay, well, what do you want to do? Because you couldn't go nowhere. She said, can you give me a sewing machine? So me and my wife went and bought a sewing machine, and her and my aunt both sew. So they kind of talk to each other about stuff and how to sew this, how to sew that. And now my daughter got her own clothing line. I don't know what the name of it is. I would promote it, but you know how these young people is. Like me, I'm like, babe, I was like, Paige, tell everybody about In the Zone Sports Talk Radio, Just Us Sports Talk, on Mondays from 7 to 9, from September to August. I said, and then from there it's from September to January is 6 to 8. She said, Dad, I ain't gonna remember all that. I said, well, write it down. Just I said, here's my business card. Take my business card, give it to somebody. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. But man, let's get with this right now. Kirk Cousins, I swear before the man above.
Really? We're gonna start with Kirk Cousins.
We're gonna start with Kirk Cousins.
Yes, we are. We're gonna start with Kirk Cousins.
Messed up.
Because I did not want him going to Atlanta. That's not where I wanted that man to go. He was supposed to go to Pittsburgh, or he's supposed to go somewhere else, but not to Atlanta. I'm like, I want Raheem Morris to be successful. He's not going to be successful with Kirk Cousins. It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, Justin Fields, we're going to talk about that too. Where's Justin Fields going to be at? Where's Justin Fields going to be at? You know what I'm saying? But Kirk Cousins, is he going to be part of that conversation? But I want to know one thing. And Mo, you can't be biased about this. I need you to be truthful and honest to me. I know you want to Russ, but do you think you're going to get the Russ from Seattle days? Or do you think you're going to get the Russ from last year? Now, last year, Russ wasn't bad. He wasn't bad.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
He wasn't bad. So do you think you're going to get that Russ coming into the AFC?
I think he will be better than last year. He will not be as good as he was in Seattle. Yes, I was frozen. Whoever is the Facebook user, but I'm not frozen anymore. I had to close tabs. I keep way too many tabs open, and that slows down my computer. So for anybody that keeps tabs open, that's why we do that.
But that's why you're supposed to get 3 screens, man. 1, 2, and 3. You gotta get 3, man.
3 screens? No, I need to close the tabs. I hold like 12 tabs open. That's the problem.
But if you get 3 screens, you ain't gotta worry about nothing. I got 1 here, and 1 here. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you gotta make it work, baby. You gotta make it work.
Tabs, baby. Tabs. I'm a tabs guy. It don't matter if I got 3. If I had 3 screens, that means I'd have 30 tabs open. So
no, because you like the one, like this one over on my left. I got the Facebook page, right? Because I actually ain't even on the page. I'm not even on the page. Right?
You still off? You still boss?
Oh no, I'm good now.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you why I got. I'm gonna tell you why I got kicked out of Facebook too, because it don't make no sense at all. They might kick me back out again. I don't care.
So can I finish about Russ?
Wait a minute, before you go on. So I got Facebook on the left. I'm looking at y'all in the middle, and on the right, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I got 16 tabs open on just that screen by itself. So, hey, I'm making it work, baby. I'm making it work. All right, go ahead, man. Talk about that, dude.
2 kids. I got a woman upstairs who are all on their devices and also probably on their TVs, and they probably streaming. And I got 1 gig internet. They just always taking up my bandwidth. All right, so back to Russ. I think he will be better than he was last year because we have better talent around him. But we still need to get a left tackle and also a center. We have the pieces. We have 2 great running backs. We have good wide receivers. If Deontay Johnson stays or if we get rid of him, that's fine too, because he never finishes running his routes. Which is a problem. George Pickens learned from him. That's the problem.
So can I ask you a question?
Of course you can.
Is it Russell's job to lose, or is it Pickett's job to win? Who's gonna
No,
start?
it's Russell's job to lose.
It's Russell's job to lose.
So he's coming in as a starter.
Yeah, that's the only reason he chose us.
That's the only reason he chose us.
Okay.
I don't think that was any question. I don't think Kenny Pickett has any question about that either.
So I'm gonna ask you a question. So if he'd have went to Atlanta, do you think he would have started?
Yeah, no question. Yeah, I think anywhere he was going, he was going to start. But I see it like this. I see it like Eli when Kurt Warner came to New York. Eli was the starter, but Kurt Warner wanted the starting job. And then Eli backed him up, and then Eli wanted it back. I hope Pickett wins it back. Because that means that Pickett is actually good. It doesn't mean that Russell's bad. It just means that Pickett has actually improved.
Wait a minute. Hold up. So if you telling me if Russell loses to Pickett, that don't mean Russell's bad? But he's coming as a starter.
I'm saying that Pickett has improved his game. I'm saying that sometime in the middle of the season, I expect Russ to get a little hurt. And I expect Pickett to come in and pick up his game and lead the team, and the team actually comes around. This is only a one-year deal.
I don't know about that.
I got hope for Pickett. I got hope for Pickett.
I don't have hope for Pickett. I really don't.
And that's why you're a Browns fan.
But I'm gonna do is say 11-5. I'm gonna leave it at that. That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna say 11-5. I ain't gonna say no more.
What they gonna do in that last week?
Because we ain't talking about the Browns, but right? We talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers and Russell Wilson. So only thing I'm saying is I want Russ. I mean, God, Russ he gonna ooh. I can't wait till Baltimore get to him, and then Cleveland get to him, and if Cincinnati can stay healthy, they get to him. Ooh. But I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna be honest. That gives you a better chance to win the division. That makes the division even tougher now than before. I see maybe two teams out of the division coming out. I see two teams in the division come out of there for the playoffs next year because Baltimore and Cleveland have the toughest schedule. Pittsburgh and Cincinnati don't. But again, you never know. I'm just saying I don't see, like I predicted last year that 4 teams could have made it and 3 did. So I'm saying this year probably 2 will. And we'll see where that goes from there. So I'm happy. I'm happy for Russ. He's going somewhere where he's needed, and hopefully he can shine in Pittsburgh. I'm not a hater of Russ at all. I just think that he wasn't the quarterback for. It just wasn't going to be a good mix in Denver because you had a head coach who's never been a head coach before, not even when it was an offensive coordinator. He just was a guy that rolled on Aaron Rodgers' back and made a name for himself. And then when it came to being a coach, it didn't pan out the way he started to pan out. So I'm just saying, I just think he got undercut a lot there. But at the same token, though, I think that he had something to do with it. But when a team allows you to have your own office, allows you to go see your wife perform while everybody else in practice, you create enemies on your team. You know what I'm saying? And when the coach that's there now, Sean Payton got there, he said, "Oh, we're gonna stop all this. We ain't doing this no more." You know, but Russell still balled out though. He still balled out. He still had them. They was 10-7 last year or something like that. They just didn't make a playoff. So I mean, they were going in the right direction. Depending on who they bring in as quarterback now, which nobody knows, it'd be something to see, something to talk about. But my biggest thing is right now though is Justin Fields. So the window is closing on this guy. So where's he going? I thought Atlanta would be a perfect place for him. He plays indoors. There is conversation of him maybe going to Minnesota, which I think if Chicago trades him to Minnesota, that would be the biggest, dumbest mistake that Chicago has ever done in their life, because every time he plays them, he's going to say, "You didn't want me. I'm going to perform my best against you guys." Even if they go 2-16, if 2 of them wins against Chicago, he really wouldn't care. You know, so now
Worked
where
for
does
New England.
New England.
They traded Bledsoe to Buffalo.
oh yeah, that didn't make sense either. So now that Kirk is in Atlanta, this dude stole all this money, $100 million guaranteed. I'm gonna throw some stats at you guys. He had completions.
I see you, Rich, out there.
Completions 3,465 attempts, 5,177. Quarterback rating is 66.9. He's thrown for 39,000 yards, average 7.6 yards. He has 270 touchdowns, 110 interceptions. His longest pass has been 81 yards. A rating to what's the RT what is that? Passer rating total is 98.2. Now that sounds good. That sounds good. But you think about this. The average yards throw is 7.6. He getting a lot of money. I'm sorry. $100 million guaranteed. And he's coming up Achilles injury. And my question, did Atlanta work him out at some point in time? Because he's a free agent. Did they work him out? So do you know what you're getting?
They had to pass the physical.
Now, Mo,
they probably haven't done the physical yet. Because remember, they can't truly sign him on Wednesday.
So let me ask, and we have me and Mo on the line, okay, that everybody can see us. We have Matthew, we have Coach Gray, we have Curry, and we got Rich on the line with us right now. Okay. Do anybody here believe that Kirk Cousins can put Atlanta over the top in that division?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I disagree.
Baker.
Okay, Rich. Wait a minute. So Rich, let me ask you a question. So you do think that's the only thing the Atlanta Falcons was missing was a quarterback last year?
Yes. At the end of it all, you got two running backs that are capable. You got a tight end that's fast. I mean, I don't know what his deal was, but he shows up every now and again. You got the young guy outside, and you just need another wide receiver. And I think KHALIL Ridley will honestly be that guy.
Okay,
and they could do something.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. If the quarterback was an issue, why they fired the coach?
Because he was stuck on Desmond Ritter. They brought in Heineke, and I think it was just too late. Like, if they had brought in Heineke earlier, I think that they would have done a little better, but they brought him so late, and he was just like, and Ritter just stinking up. He's just not ready. He needs to sit behind somebody. I think Kirk Cousins is a good quarterback to sit behind, learn the offense from. And I don't think that going to the playoffs or anything, but they can definitely win the South.
Okay. Matthew, you said you disagree.
Oh, yeah, I absolutely disagree.
Tell us why.
If you look at Kirk Cousins' history, this is his third big contract grab. And I feel like when he became a free agent, that he had to meet with Atlanta, but I don't believe he did the workout with Atlanta. And I will call it right now, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets injured because there's history with him It goes back to when he was on the Commanders, and he magically gets this big contract to Minnesota. Now with Atlanta now, because he is a good player, but he's not your top tier. He's just a quarterback that is your normal QB that will give you half of what you need, but not half what you want.
Okay. Anybody agree, disagree on Kirk Cousins taking Atlanta? I mean, taking Atlanta Falcons to the promised land. Tampa Bay is basically offensively they're gonna keep what they have.
Promised land.
The Baker Mayfield is probably Baker Mayfield will sign with them. They got Evans there. The Saints.
Hey, Kev, define promised land. When you say promised land, what do you mean?
Well, I mean, I'm saying to take. Can they win? Can Atlanta win a division?
Absolutely, they can. And let me tell you why.
Okay.
Because in recent years, it's shown that you don't have to win 10, 11, 12 games to win that division. If you can go in there and win 9 or 10 games, you can win that division. And I think Kirk Cousins bringing you 2 or 3 more wins to that team. Now, what I don't like is what Raheem Morris did. Raheem Morris said that if they had a quarterback, he wouldn't have a job. And I don't think you should throw your quarterback under the bus, no matter how terrible he is.
So he was talking about.
Yes, they can win that division.
So Raheem Morris said that about. He said that about the quarterback they got now.
He said if they had a quarterback, he wouldn't have a job.
Oh well, he probably telling the truth.
That's the truth.
Yeah, sometimes you got the truth.
I mean, but he's being honest. If they had a quarterback, he probably wouldn't have a job. He'd still be the defensive coordinator for the Rams.
Smith is still be the coach.
So what he's saying is they couldn't have fired the other coach.
Well, but again, that's what I'm saying. That's how I asked Rich. I was like, if they're a quarterback away, then you bring Kirk Cousins in. You keep the same guy you had as a head coach, because you're saying that's the only thing we're missing, right? That's my mind thought, is that if you're saying you're gonna give Kirk Cousins all this money to play in Atlanta, but you fire the coach. Now just think about this. You fire the coach, okay? Now 53 players that's on that team, or probably 53 players. You might have 20 players on that team that Raheem Morris probably really wants on that team, right? So the other half, he's gonna try to get rid of them some kind of way because they may not be what he wants. Okay, so now you'll have to rebuild to build again. Okay, and you bring Kirk Cousins in to rebuild. Now, if Atlanta goes out and draft a quarterback, then we know the situation which is going to happen there. But again, you just gave this man $100 million guaranteed money. He walked out he's going to sign a check digitally. They're going to deposit that money into his account. He's going to walk out that door a happy man. So I'm a little confused on the money side of it. I'm not confused. I'm a little confused on Kirk Cousins going there because you have a new quarterback. I mean, you have a new coach. And if they draft another quarterback, then I'm going to really be confused, because now you gave Kirk Cousins all this money, right? Now you do have a quarterback you can sit behind Kirk Cousins and learn. But again, we know how fast coaches come and goes. Now I don't know how good their defense is, because I'm looking at what they were last year. Differential, they was a negative 52. Points against was 373. Points for were 321. So you can honestly sit there and say that there were some close games and there were some blowout games. There was 5-3 at home, 2-7 on the road, 3-3 in the division, 4-8 outside the conference. Okay, and I don't know what the schedule looks like. I don't know who they play this year coming up, if they have any outdoor games in cold weather, whatever that, which would be a factor as well, because they're a dome team. So I'm just saying, my whole thing with Kirk Cousins was $100 million guaranteed. I'm not in the man's pocket, but has he proven himself enough to warrant that type of cash? It was 4 years. He did 4 years for $180 million, $100 million guaranteed. 4 years.
So that's basically $25 million a year. The Chiefs probably won't see the back end of that contract.
Exactly, and that might be the case. So again, guys, if they draft a quarterback, everybody here gonna be scratching their head, even myself. Justin Fields. Let's get back to Justin Fields.
Yeah, I do have some breaking news.
Go ahead. So I saw Seattle just signed somebody or something, right?
Yep. Former Seahawks linebacker Jordan Brooks is going to the Miami Dolphins on a 3-year, $30 million deal.
Do it say how much guarantee you're getting?
Not yet. Not been reported yet.
Okay.
And then before the show started, Austin Eckler is heading to the Washington Commanders.
Yeah,
a 2-year deal.
They got money to spend, so Washington's going to spend some money. Chicago,
the biggest.
Go ahead.
The biggest contract other than Kirk Cousins, the Giants. They made a trade with the Panthers earlier today to get Brian Burns on a $150 million contract.
They throw money out there, man.
And he's a defensive end.
I got a thing up here that says which players are probably gonna get overpaid for their usage. Getting back to Justin Fields, is there anybody out here that think that Chicago is not going to draft Caleb Williams?
I don't.
All right. Who's the first person?
Doesn't matter.
All right.
This is Rich, though.
All right, Rich. Go ahead. Go ahead. Tell us why you don't think they're going to draft him.
I don't think that I think Eberflus really likes him. I think he's good for their offense. I think that if they draft offensive line, if they have some free agency and protect him, I think Fields is a good fit in Chicago.
Okay,
I think Marvin Harrison Jr. would definitely help them a lot. And Komet has proven that he can play. So, I mean, with DJ Moore, Marvin Harrison Jr., Cole Komet, and a solid offensive line, I just don't. I believe that they can do it. They can focus on defense, and they can do something in the central, in the north.
Okay. Somebody else said they disagree. They don't think that they should trade him.
Devin, it's me, Devin.
Hey, what's up, Devin? How you doing?
Good, just working a lot more.
A lot of Falcon fan on board. So we're talking about Justin Fields. Do you think that the Chicago Bears will trade him?
No, I don't think so.
Why is that?
Because I agree with the other guy. I think they're gonna draft Marvin Harrison with the first overall pick or going back. Get some more draft picks.
Okay.
The first overall pick.
Okay. So you two people, you two guys that think that they're gonna keep Justin Fields.
Yes.
What do Justin Fields have to do to keep his job in Chicago, Rich? I just need to know. What do you think that he need to do? I'll tell you what. How many games do you think that Chicago needs to win for him to maintain his job in Chicago if they keep him?
8.
I'd say 8 or 9.
Okay. Devin, how many you said?
8.
Okay. So you said 8 or 9. So if they win 8 games, let's say they win 9 games, that's 9 and 8, right? I don't think I can't see Tampa being 9 and 8 again. The Saints neither. I can't see them being 9 and 8 again. I think somebody wins 10 to 11 games in that division. So with the 8 games that you're talking about, I'm gonna give him 9. I'm gonna give you 9 games that he wins. The market value next year for him will be $50 million. Would that 9 wins qualify him to get $50 million?
Minimum 50, yeah.
Go ahead, Devin.
Yeah, minimum 15.
No, not 15. 50.
Like,
50. 50. 50.
Yeah.
That's the market value.
Yeah, 50.
All right, Rich.
I say 53 at most.
Okay, Rich.
I'm gonna say yes, because they have, as long as they're making the steps forward, taking steps forward. I mean, with the addition of Swift, and if they pick up Marvin Harrison, and I'm certain they're gonna fill in some holes when they trade down. I honestly just believe that Fields is in a good position. I don't think Caleb Williams can come in and play better. USC isn't known for putting great quarterbacks in the NFL. Carson Palmer was the best of them all. Then you got Matt Leinart and all these other bums that have been running around.
I could agree with you on that one.
It's not worth it.
Mo, question: Is he 9 wins? Do 9 wins rate him $50 million?
Winning 3 last year. We get 8 this year. Yeah. I'm just saying that's the market value now for a good quarterback.
Well, I'm asking you: do you think he's if with 9 wins next year, is the market value $50 million for him?
I think they got to pay it because the problem is they would have to franchise him, which is probably be around 40. And then he's just going to do what Kirk Cousins. I don't think they'll give him 50. I think they'll franchise.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I think they're going to get rid of him, because the uncertainty of how well he's going to do in that division, right? Matthew, if you can see if you can pull up this schedule for next year. All right. I think that's the dilemma that they're dealing with right now is we kept the coach. So if you kept the coach, we might as well keep the quarterback, right? That's what I'm thinking. But the market value is $50 million for Justin Fields, who they say is a running back playing quarterback. That's what most analysts are saying about him. Okay. But you look at the way they ended the season, they ended the season playing pretty good football. Okay. But again, we're talking about $50 million to Justin Fields. And at the end of the season, these are the wins. This is the last let me see. Let me see where they at. Is this okay? So they beat the Lions, which was a good win. They beat the Vikings. They lost to the Browns. They beat the Cardinals. They beat the Falcons, and lost to the Packers. So they was 4-3. With 5. Let me see. 5-3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. It was 5-3 at the end of the season. Panthers, Cardinals, Falcons. There's only 3 teams that didn't make the playoffs. They played in the division, and they beat the Vikings, who didn't have Kirk Cousins at the time. They beat the Lions. That was I can't remember that game how that went. So they did have some continuity going forward, and I think Eberflus kind of fighting for him to stay there, because if you look at what's out there right now, there's nothing for him. The field for Justin is small, right? Where can he go now? Washington, they don't have a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be really difficult on how this thing turns out. With thank you, Matthew. With the way they play this thing out, I would love for him to stay there in Chicago and get that 50 million. I'm gonna be honest with you, I like Justin Fields. I'm not a Ohio State fan, but I like Justin Fields. So I'm looking at the schedule next year. Okay, they play the Lions, they play the Packers, they play the Vikings. Look like they play Carolina. Jacksonville, the Rams, the Patriots, Seattle, Tennessee, Detroit, Green Bay, Vikings again, Cardinals, Texans, the Colts, the 49ers. Who's this right here? The Washington Commanders. So that looked like their schedule. And I mean, they got the schedule out. So I didn't know they had, or wait a minute, that's this year's schedule. I'm sorry. That was this year's schedule. I thought it was I thought it was last year's schedule. I mean, I thought it was this year's schedule coming up. Because I do have the schedule, just don't have the dates.
Yeah.
That says 2024.
You have the correct schedule because.
But didn't they play Washington before?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, but if they did it for a home series.
Yeah, okay. All right. So is the schedule it's doable. I think it's doable. You know? So it's going to be interesting. So with everything with Kirk Cousins was supposed to be the domino effect. Okay. So the question is now, Kirk Cousins, Baker Mayfield's off the market now. He's going back to Tampa. Again, what team needs a quarterback out there? Other than off the top of my head, I'm thinking Washington. Anybody else can think of maybe the Patriots, but the Patriots are going to draft the quarterback. AFC North is set. AFC South is set.
Broncos maybe.
Broncos. Vegas.
Yeah.
Vegas name pop up. Vegas. Denver.
Vegas got a QB today.
Who did they? Oh, they got Minshew, right, as a backup.
Yep. Yeah, Minshew.
Okay. Giants. They better not trade him within the division.
Maybe.
The Saints. So there's a couple of teams out there.
One more year.
There might be a couple teams out there that maybe could make a run for him, but everything in my power, I mean, everything I'm seeing right now, and Mo, just comment on this for me real quick. Everything in my power, everything I'm seeing is going on right now in the NFL, saying that he's going to stay in Chicago. And the number one pick will be Marvin Harris Jr. Caleb Williams will go to Washington, and Washington will trade him. He's gonna do a Manning move. He's gonna tell him, you can draft me, but you better trade me. Mo shaking his head. Do you think Chicago's gonna trade? You think they're gonna trade Justin Fields?
I think if they don't get the deal that they want, they will keep Justin Fields and draft Caleb Williams and trade one of them. Why draft Marvin Harrison at number one? And you can get him at number 4. You can get a move up for somebody to move up to Caleb. You get 2 firsts. You get the number 4 and the first next year. You do that if you're going to keep Justin Fields. I think right now they are on either one.
But
because they're not getting the package they want for Field.
But the thing about it is, I think with Chicago, if you look at the number 1 package, you look at number 1 deal, I lost my train of thought. They can get whoever they want at 1, okay? And we know I think Marvin Harris is the guy they want. Can they get him at 4? But who's at 4? Is that the Patriots, I think?
No, there's Arizona at 4.
Arizona at 4, which we know Arizona's not gonna select a quarterback, right?
You know, they're not happy with Kyler Murray. With Kyler Murray.
See what I'm saying? So you might. I mean, it's a hard situation. If I'm a Bears fan, I'm confused. I'm all over the place because I want Justin to stay there and build around Justin. And they got picks, they got cap, they got the cap space. Rich was talking about the offensive line, which they can improve on. Defensively, they can get better at. with some picks. If they were to get rid of that one, and that number 8, they could probably get some significant picks back. If not this year, but next year. But because they still got cap room, they got the 4th most cap room in the league right now to maneuver to get the players they want to get.
Swift today.
They got running back. They got Swift, who was with Philly, and now he's been Chicago. So now they got a nice little tandem in the backfield. So Mo, I get your point, but I'm just saying I think Chicago, Pittsburgh's out, right? They got Russ. We know Atlanta's out. They got Kirk. Again, where can he go?
Yep.
Where can he go in?
Vegas makes sense.
Vegas makes sense.
Vegas does make sense. Vegas makes a lot of sense. Vegas and the Saints both Vegas or the Saints make a lot of sense for him. You know what I'm saying? Because you're in the dome.
They get very money.
They restricted his contract. They restructured his contract. So Vegas probably would make more sense. I kind of agree with you. So I'm gonna stick with Vegas. Everything we did up on this board, it don't even matter no more because he didn't. Because we all wanted him to go to Atlanta, and it didn't happen. All right. So
yeah, I wanna like Caleb Williams in Atlanta.
So let's talk about Caleb Williams for a minute. So he's out there saying that he's making deals with ESPN and all these other places to make to pay him likeness of himself. Did he forget he's not in college no more? And he's in the pros. Some dads, you don't make your agent. I'm sorry. I don't see this thing with Caleb Williams going good. He went from a kid in Washington, playing football, and the person that does my taxes, her son played with them in high school, and she said there was a bunch of kids that played with him that's really good. Some went to OD, and some of them transferred out. But they knew from the very beginning McCabe was going to be that dude coming out of DC. He's already said he don't want to play for Washington. All right. So can we see a Manning situation here? Here he goes to Washington and they trade him to somebody else. Who do you trade him to?
You could trade him to Minnesota. Minnesota or Denver.
Now, Mo, he did have a list of where he wanted to go to, and the Raiders was on the list, wasn't he?
Yeah.
See, that's complicate things for Justin Fields there. If Washington goes after him.
That's what I'm saying. That makes more sense.
That's what I'm saying. That makes more sense. You do both.
Just go and draft Caleb and keep Justin until afterwards.
Man, this is gonna be tough for him. But anyway, with Caleb Williams and his red flags, it's not good. It's not good. It's not good for him right now. I'm a true believer. I think everybody that's listening to the show or watching the show believes that you do all your talking on the football field. You let your game do the talking for you. Bottom line, you let your game do the talking, and he's doing a lot of talking now that doesn't make a lot of sense to me as a fan. And I like him, but now I'm swaying away from him because I think his head's getting too big for himself to making comments about my dad's gonna be my agent and this is what we're looking for. We talk to ESPN, and he hasn't thrown one football yet. He hasn't had his pro day yet, right? Sometimes you can outplay yourself to be the number 1 pick, or the number 2, or number 3, or number 4, or number 5, or number 6, or whatever pick he belongs to. But I think that sometimes you need to just be humble and let it flow. Just let it flow. You know what I'm saying? You may end up where you want to be if you just don't make waves. And we know how the NFL is. We know exactly how they are. You know what I'm saying? And so that's the thing with Caleb Williams. I'm kind of scared of, because you're already talking trash. You have not thrown one football. You know, and my issue with film is this right here, is that sometimes you have to be humble. You have to be humble and let your work do the talking for you on the football field. You know, if your dad can sit back and get you a contract where you got all these incentives in there, and you know, the first year you do this and you do this and you do this, then that's fine and dandy. Then your dad's on point. You know what I'm saying? But again, he's already put out there what teams you want to play for, what teams don't want to play for. And I'm like, I don't know about you guys, but if I'm gonna be the #1 draft pick, I'm going to a team, and in the back of my mind, I say I'm gonna make them better. I'm here to make them better. I'm here to make me better. I'm here to win games, to win games, to win Super Bowls. And once I win Super Bowls, then my stats will talk for itself. And if I'm trying to get in the Hall of Fame, my stats would do that for me. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I'm not feeling too comfortable with Caleb Williams in the conversation that we're having with him, amongst NFL owners and GMs, and you know, the situation with his dad. Anybody have any comments on that situation at all with Caleb Williams at all?
No, I do.
Go ahead, Matthew.
When he mentioned about the dad, this was about a day before the combine. The day that he announced that he wasn't going to perform at the combine was the same day that he mentioned about his dad. And there's some people that are saying if he does have his dad as his agent, as he's talking smack on the mic and hasn't touched the ball yet, we're looking at a scenario where it's a bad example, not only for him and his dad, but his dad could be called out for the next LeVar Ball in the NFL. The dad wants to get involved with that. He wants the money, not his son. He wants it more than he does. At the same time, they both want to have a little share of the football experience.
Okay. Hey, Mo. So Williams didn't do a medical exam at the NFL combines. Is that going to hurt him or help him?
No, because every team that he goes to, he'll probably just go to the top 3 teams. They'll do a physical. Because no matter what, they would have done no physical.
I know the teams that have interest in him are the Bears, the Commanders, the Patriots. When Williams said he compared himself to Aaron Rodgers, I almost fell off my seat. I don't. Do you see it? Do you see Aaron Rodgers in him?
I see Aaron Rodgers play the Cal.
He played at USC.
One is black, one is white. I don't
One
see
is
any
black, one
pants.
is white. I don't see any pants.
Whose mic are they talking about?
Whose mic are they talking about? My mic?
Probably yours, but that was a while ago.
Okay.
Wow. It just boggles my mind, man. When you, man, why do guys do that? You know what I'm saying? You know, why do guys? And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna use Michael Parsons as an example, right? Michael have always wanted to play for the Cowboys, right? The night of the draft, I remember me and my wife were working, watching on TV, and the Cowboys trade out, and they send the wide receiver to the Philadelphia Eagles because they felt sending him to the Giants would give them more competition. They didn't think Philly was going to be that good that fast, right? So my wife was upset. She's like, "Why would they do that?" I said, "Babe," I said, "they get ready to draft him at number 11." I said to her, I said, "You remember the conversation I had with you before with the news reporter?" She's like, "Yeah." And basically, I said to the news reporter, I said to him, I said, "You're going to question his character." I said, "But you had Mac Jones in Alabama who had a DUI, drinking and driving, underage, and had false ID. But you're going to question me about Michael Parsons' character? And that really bothered me. And the reporter said, he said, Kev, you got a point there. He said, you got a great point. I said, yeah. I said, what has he done? I said, he's 17 years old. He's 17 years old. I said, he hasn't did anything like that. I said, guys in the locker room, they argue, they fight, they fight. You know, one guy ain't stay pack. If you're not holding up your end of the bargain on the team, it's gonna come out in the locker room. You know what I'm saying? And maybe he said something to a dude that didn't like it. He didn't like it, and he got mad about it. But it is what it is, because you're at the end of the day, you're trying to win. You know what I'm saying? But he was humble enough to understand that he was still going to the Cowboys, because all the teams after that was 8, 9, and 10 wasn't picking a linebacker. So he ended up going to the team that he really wanted to go to. Now he lost a lot of he lost like $4 or $5 million in the end of the contract because of where he got drafted at, right? But you look at, he made it up his rookie year, he made up his second year, he made up his third year, and he's probably gonna make it up again in his fourth year if they don't give him a contract extension, right? So sometimes you gotta take humble pie and just take it, eat it, and say, I'm moving on from where I'm at. And I'm gonna show everybody in the world that I am the dude that I say I am. So I hope that Caleb he gets smart and be quiet and let his play show the actions of how good he can be in the NFL. That's just my personal opinion. I believe Russ is going to win a playoff game. I believe he will too. It might not be with the Steelers. I'm just joking. I think he'll win. Man, I missed a whole lot. Where I'm at? There we go. So Justin Herbert better be careful this season. It might be in a season trade for Fields. Yeah, okay, that's not happening. If I'm a Bears fan, I'm hoping they keep Fields, draft Harris, and upgrade. Well, we talked about that too. Vegas is the worst franchise in the NFL. They have the worst ownership in all of football. What? Just win, baby, win.
For Washington. Before
Just
Washington,
win, baby,
win. The ownership of Washington.
But I don't think the Raiders' ownership is that bad. Why are they bad?
Mark Davis wanted to bring back Gruden this year. That's enough said. That's enough said.
That's a young guy. You know what I'm saying?
Young.
We know that. I know the dad. I know the dad. Win, baby, win.
Just win, baby. Just win, baby.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And so I don't know if they're. I don't think the Raiders got the worst. I don't think Raiders got the worst franchise. Worst franchise in the NFL. I'm sorry, I don't think that.
Oh, their ownership is terrible, Kev.
Why you think the ownership is terrible?
I mean, okay, so you go to New England. You bring what was his name? Expired in mid-season.
I know what
he was already fired in Denver, one of those teams. He was terrible.
I'm gonna say the decision making might be poor. You know what I'm saying? Because if you think about
that, makes them a terrible franchise.
But if you think about, I just think they made some bad mistakes. I just think they made some bad mistakes, because you think about when they fired the one coach and they had another coach come in there and they ain't want him, they let him go. They bring in another coach, and now they have Pierce there, who the players want. Now, if that backfires, everybody was all down with Pierce being the head coach, right? If it backfires, then what everybody goes? What would everybody say then? They did what the fans
wanted. Ownership. You do not let the players decide who the coach
is. Okay, so then that applies to the Patriots, because the Patriots players say they wanted my man to be the coach. And they said if he's not the coach, all the free agents said they was leaving. Right? So you got two teams, the Patriots and the Raiders, who listen to the players that said we want them guys as coaches, right?
And I agree to a degree, where the difference being is that Robert Kraft has been the same coach for 20 years. So he's doing something different, where the Raiders have said, this is, they're coaching, they're firing somebody, every other year.
I don't disagree.
So there's a difference. There's a big difference.
I agree. I agree, but I just think sometimes you just make bad decisions. It doesn't make you a bad ownership. You're trying to figure out a way to win. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to figure out a way to win.
I just feel like Al Davis died, and then the Raiders turned into the Clippers.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be honest with you. His son is not nowhere close to being like his dad. I'm gonna say that. And I think
he's not a boss.
And I think sometimes you should put in the clause, if you can't win, you got to sell the team. Get your money and go, because you're not doing no justice for anybody on that team. And I think sometimes you just can't be the owner. And the thing about it is, if you're not a great owner, then you go out and find you a great GM and let the GM do what it do. Let the GM be the guy that let's look at Baltimore, for example. The great Ozzie Newsome, one of my favorite tight ends that played for the Cleveland Browns, was the GM for the Baltimore Ravens. He came in there, they hit the ground running, right? Then they've selected 4 or 5 guys from that tree. Some of them has done well, some of them haven't. The guy that replaced Ozzie Newsome basically was not getting it done. They said, Ozzie Newsome, can you come back just to be a consultant for the team, because you do it so well, right? So they got it right. They just got to figure out. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you, your boy Lynch out in 49er land.
He's a boss.
He got to get it right again this year. He said they're all in again this year, but the cap say something completely different. You know what I'm saying?
Wait a minute.
Go ahead.
Now, before you go there, I knew somebody was going to go there about our cap space. So, okay, so we have very little cap space to fool with, but we can spend $298 million.
You right now. Right now you're $9,279,535 in the negative. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Again,
I'm sorry. That's not you. That's the Saints. I'm saying that the 49ers are.
I was going to say
$3,435,270 in the negative. The only teams are in negative is the 49ers, the Saints, the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Chargers.
Well, Eric Armstead hasn't been fired yet. He hasn't been released.
Well, they get released and so that's what give us some. That'll give you a little cap.
20 off the book.
Yeah, that'll give you some cap room right there. But I'm just saying though, he has to get it done. If he don't get it done next year, they're gonna be questioning him again. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm just saying they're gonna question him again. Because you've been to the promised land.
I don't know why they question him. I question Shanahan.
Well, because Shanahan, but Lynch is the one that's doing the drafting.
28-3.
Yeah.
Would you say, Mo?
Always go down to Shanahan. 2083 will always go down to Shanahan.
Yeah, like Shanahan is the one making the play calls. John Lynch put together one of the most talented teams in all of football.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with you at all. I'm just saying that I think that that's going to be the issue going forward. If the 49ers fumble or fall or stumble next year, the first thing they're going to say is, okay, they don't have no cap room, so they can't trade for nobody. How can they right this ship? And that's going to be the issue if it doesn't go well, because the team's a year.
Oh no, we got cap space after next year, and we can get more.
Oh yeah,
2025.
Yeah, like even with the Dallas Cowboys, they'll probably be in the top 5 with cap space after next year. You know what I'm saying? But this year, right now, they're in trouble because Tony Pollard left, Tyron Smith left, and they got and from what I'm hearing is that Dak, they're not going to give Dak a new contract until after the end of the year. So they may let Dak
$60 million this year.
Yeah, but he can restructure his contract to get, if he gets an contract extension, right, is what he wants. If you think about when they gave him his contract the last time, it set him up because remember they were already talking about a new TV deal, right, this year coming up, which now they have the new TV deal with YouTube, Peacock, and whatever else they got out there. All right, so you look at that new TV deal, and that's where his contract came back up again for contract extension. So they're basically, Dallas is saying, "Yo, we're gonna wait. We're just gonna wait." And believe me, that if Dallas doesn't get to the NFC Championship game, McCarthy and Dak could probably be going together. And they're sewn to the hip. If both their contracts end after this year. You know, I don't think Dallas Cowboys fans are having meltdowns because Tony Pollard wasn't an every down back. But you got to remember, though, Tony Pollard got hurt right at the end of the season last year. So, they always say you're not as good as you are until a year after your injury is concerned. So you might see a different Tony Pollard next year coming out than this year. I got a friend of mine, I keep trying to tell, he wants Derrick Henry to come and go to Dallas. I said, Dallas don't have the money for Derrick Henry. He's not going to take a pay cut. He said he bought a house. He bought a house in Dallas. I said, so what that mean? Would you take, if you hit me, are you going to take a pay cut? You're not going to give me, look, I just got franchised last year. I need to be paid. So we can talk about the Cowboys another time, but I just want to put that up there. Go ahead.
Texans are getting a new linebacker as they signed Azir Al-Shair to a 3-year, $34 million deal.
Where did he come from?
Tennessee Titans.
They
had the 5th most tackles in the league last year.
They jumping ship in Tennessee right now. They jumping ship.
That's one of them. That's another linebacker.
Somebody back said linebacker. Hey, so the Chargers, guys, are negative $20,589,407 in the negative. All right, this is after the cap went up. So right now, the Chargers are opening trading the defensive standout, Joey BOSA and MACK. I don't know about MACK. MACK needs to go somewhere where he can help. He can be a helper, not a starter. And I think that BOSA could go somewhere and be productive. It's just that, what do you want for him? But see, this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is what happens when you give your quarterback all this money. The quarterback gonna take the money. Now you have to figure out how to put the pieces together to make this puzzle work. And the Chargers didn't think that they would be in the situation right now with a new head coach. Okay. Some guys are leaving, some guys are staying. Mo, what's your thoughts on the Chargers, man? Talk to me.
I think Harbaugh's going to try and get that team to play the way he wants. I think they're going to draft his running back from Michigan. He likes Justin Herbert. I think he likes the offense, but he doesn't like the offensive line. And if you look at Michigan has always been about getting the best players. You can do that now as a coach. You can't go out and recruit. The hard part now is to put themselves in a better cap space, and that's why they have so many people available. But I think they're just in a bad situation right now. I think they need a couple of years to probably play. They got good players though. They got Khalil Mack. They got Joey Bosa.
But they're trying to get rid of him.
One of them, they're not gonna get rid of both. That's because they have so much cap problems.
That's an open trade and defensive standout, Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack.
Yeah, as in they're not gonna trade both. They'll trade one.
But I'm gonna say this. I think Khalil Mack made his stance when he was in Chicago. He hasn't been really good since then.
He had six sacks in one game this year, man.
Who they play? Who's that against?
Don't know. I don't care about the Chargers.
But he had 6 sacks in one game, so I just want to know who it was.
I'll tell you.
I'll tell you. Would you play a team that had depleted offensive line? They had a line that they came off the streets and lined up against them.
They're playing the Raiders.
Well, then that answers your question right there. That answers your question right there.
It starts at the top. What's the leaders?
And the Raiders got so mad that next week they came out and bombed. Who they bomb out?
Kansas City. I think they beat Kansas City that week.
They scored on points against. Well, no, that wasn't Kansas City, was it? They scored on points against.
I don't think it was a lot of points. I think they beat Kansas City.
Yeah, but they scored a lot of points against somebody. But I'm just saying though, it's getting to the point you got to be even with an accountant or financial advisor or whatever, you got to look 4 or 5 years down the road when you looking at these cap things, man. And guys, what I'm not hearing though. I'm not hearing that none of these players are deferring any money anywhere else.
That's a baseball thing.
That's a baseball thing. No, because Aaron Donald did it. Aaron Donald deferred money.
That's because he already won.
You know what I'm saying?
Because he already won.
Oh, thank you.
I'm saying after you win, you want to win another one. That's why. Man, don't make me pull up 6. You want me to pull up 6?
Them things are tarnished.
I think the only good player right now, other than Donald, that lowered that before was Tyron Lockett earlier this week. He lowered from 50 mil down to 31 mil.
So that's good for Carolina. I mean, that's good for Seattle.
Yeah, hey, can I say something on that?
Go ahead, Gary.
Yeah, but you can't look at it like that. He's not giving away money. So don't. That's what he's doing is restructuring his contract, right. And he's getting money up front into a signing bonus or something like that. But he ain't taking no pay cut. You can't expect these guys to take a pay cut. So I just wanted to throw that out.
But no, I'm not saying
that he's giving back money.
Yeah, I'm not saying he's taking a pay cut. I'm saying he's deferring his money back on the back end, and it comes up as a signing bonus. So it doesn't really hurt your cap in a sense. Where I'm not surprised that more teams are not doing that, especially when you got 6 teams that are in the negative. But you got the 49ers, the Saints, the Bills, the Dolphins, and the Chargers. And the Chargers at the point now where they got to get rid of Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. They trying to get rid of one or the other, so they got some money to sign some new players. So that, to me, I think that's.
And they signed a player today too.
Who they signed?
They signed a tight end, Will Display, for a 3-year contract, 14 mil.
Now who is that? Anybody know who
that mil guaranteed?
Anybody know who that is?
Who's the tight end for the Seattle?
Was he a back?
One of the tight ends for Seattle.
He was. They had him and Noah Fant. Noah Fant re-signed to stay in Seattle.
Oh, okay. So that's why they got rid of him. That's not a big deal. I mean, I'm not Seattle.
He's a better blocker.
Okay. Well, he gonna.
Just a heads up, we did give you a Cody Parkinson.
Cody Parkinson.
For the Rams.
Who's Cody Parkinson?
Yeah, the Rams got their new tight end.
Oh, you know why? Because of the nasty hit that my man took. What game was that? he tore his knee up. The defensive back hit oh, I can't think of the tight end name that we're talking about for the Rams. I can't think of about I think that's why they did what they did, because
Tyler Higbee.
Yeah, Tyler Higbee got hurt on that cheap hit.
Oh, yeah, Tyler Higbee.
Yep. So Chargers in the situation. Dolphins is real quiet. Buffalo released almost all the defensive backs. And this is my thing, Curry. I'm gonna come to you on this one right here. Your Dolphins, negative 18 million. How what are y'all going? Curry, can you help me out?
You broke up. I didn't hear you.
I said the Miami Dolphins are 18 negative,
going on there.
a negative 18 million. How are they gonna fix that?
Just like we just said, they go into restructure contracts instead of the guy getting, they just converted to a signing bonus that lowers the cap hit.
So
but now down the line, that deal's gonna come due. It might not be, don't get you right now. It's coming later. So, but that's how they're gonna get under the cap. They have to restructure some contracts.
Well,
and players don't mind getting restructuring their contracts because that's a big fat check. They just cut you right up front.
Yeah, but they should have did it. They should have did it before now. That's my thing, is that they knew. Unless Miami's gonna be packed with what they have free agent wise, and they look for the draft. I'm not saying they can't do that.
You still got 2 days. You got till the 13th.
Yeah, I know, but all the big splashes going. I'm gonna tell you what. For me, for the Rams, and we can go around the horn, and we can say who you think has helped your team improve. With the Rams, we got we got a lineman from the Detroit Lions. That was huge. I love that pickup. I can't think of his name right now, but that was huge. Cleveland didn't really do anything. They got Judy in the wide receiver trade. Trading to give us some 4th or 5th round or 6th round or something for Judy. I think that may help out Amari Cooper a little bit. But the biggest thing is they kept the free agent that Zadarius Smith. That was the one I was really afraid of them losing. That guy I like him. He came from Minnesota. They traded for him from Minnesota, so he's getting paid right now. Let me see here. So who we got? Let me see. We got Columbus. We got okay. So Miami. Curry, have you heard anything yet on what has Miami made any moves as of yet?
Yes, they picked up a linebacker from Cleveland. I don't know what his name is. So they picked him up, and they made a couple of moves today.
A linebacker from Cleveland. It wasn't Taki, was it?
Yes.
They also lost Robert Hunt and Christian Wilkins.
Robert Hunt. Who's that? Who's Robert Hunt? Who do you play for?
Defensive guard.
You know what I'm saying? Both of them played for Miami. They lost them both.
Okay. All right. Let me see. Matthew, Seattle, what they do? Anything yet?
So far today, after Jordan Brooks went to Miami, once that was in session, they did re-sign tight end Noah Fant to a 2-year contract. And other than that, nothing much really. It's quiet. Actually, the sports world, everyone's waiting to see what Seattle does, as we got cap money now. I think we're at 40 million cap.
Okay.
40, 50 million cap now.
Rich, what you got for San Francisco? Any moves yet?
We got Leonard Floyd, and we just re-signed Brandon Allen. We're not really going to be too aggressive in free agency until after everything, all these big names are
So you got
worked out.
Didn't Little Floyd? Did he play? Who did he play for? Was it Dallas?
He played for the Rams last year.
Yeah. He wasn't. He wasn't with the Rams. He was with the Rams prior to that. I think he went to Dallas.
Yeah.
Why would I say Dallas?
Chicago, actually.
Okay.
Chicago, actually.
Was it
He
Chicago?
didn't really make any moves
Okay.
for free agents.
Chicago. Lou, you got the Jets and you got the Cowboys. Anything happening with the Jets?
Yeah.
Anything happening with the Cowboys?
You're gonna have a, you know, this now is trying to make it move. But we is gonna be a lot more interesting than things happening here. So we're just waiting for a few more days.
Okay. Mo, what's happening with the Pittsburgh Steelers?
Well, Leonard Floyd came from Buffalo. We signed a punter.
Oh, okay.
And then Russell Wilson. I mean, I think the punter is just as important.
I can't wait till we get a hold of Russell Wilson. Can't wait.
He has the second best QBR against the AFC North. If anybody against another division. Just saying.
That's when they had a good defense.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Let me see here. So we talked about we talked about the cap. What we got? Oh yeah, Barkley went right across the street. He took I-95. He went to I-95. Yo, I don't know why. Yeah. Why is Tiki mad? Because he wasn't going to get paid from. He wasn't going to get paid from the Giants. All right, he wasn't going to get paid. So now he went to Philadelphia, and I think he really wanted. Huh?
It's about going to the rival.
Yo, Tiki said, "Yo, you're dead to me." I'm like, "Yo, you crazy, Tiki? Come on, bro."
It was funny more that same tweet.
Yo, I'm like, Dallas center went where? I'm glad we got Dallas' center. Ooh, that's not good. Who we at here? I'm looking at Texas.
And the Packers picked up Josh Jacobs.
I like that move. And then they released
Aaron Jones.
Yeah, they released Aaron Jones. I don't get that part of it. If I'm Aaron Jones, I'm going.
And then the Packers also signed Xavier McKinney.
The Bills restructured Allen contract. The Bills have restructured the contract with Josh Allen, converting much of the 2024 compensation into a signing bonus, clearing $16.7 million in a 2024 cap space. Allen updated 2024 cap charges is now $30 million. See what I'm saying? They got to do something to win because they're getting rid of everybody. The Dolphins signed Jordan Brooks from former Seattle. Eckler. Now I don't understand Eckler going to the Commanders. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't get that at all.
They got to spend the money.
Spend on somebody that's going to help the team. That's not going to help. That's not going to help the team.
Austin Eckler before last year was averaging like 22 TDs per year.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm saying that
it's a 2-year deal for $5 million or $11 million. It's like $5.5 million per year. It ain't that much money.
It ain't that much money.
I'm gonna tell you what Commanders. The Commanders got Dallas' center. Okay. I'll tell you what player that retired. Fletcher Cox from the Eagles. That's gonna hurt right there.
I don't think he retired.
Yeah, he did. He retired.
I thought he just said he was leaving. He was talking about coming to Pittsburgh.
No, they said he retired. Or did he say he's leaving? I thought he said
He
retired.
just said he's leaving Philly.
But was he a free agent?
I do see something about it. Yeah, he's a free agent. His contract is. You're right. He did announce his retirement.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
He was talking to Cam Hayward about playing with Pittsburgh.
I don't know about that one. All right, guys.
Chief Higgins is requesting to trade out Cincinnati.
Yeah, he's not going nowhere. Nobody's giving up a number one for that right there. He's going to suck that up. He got to play there one more year and then get ghost. College girls basketball. Let's talk about this real quick. South Carolina and LSU. I don't know if you guys saw it, but they had a brawl going on there. Now I'm gonna say this right now.
Oh yeah.
If my sister is in that fight, I'm watching. I'm not leaving the stands for nothing. I'm sorry, I ain't doing it. No. I'm not going to jail behind my sister unless she got an NIL deal that's gonna get me out soon. Before I get to jail and they put the handcuffs on me, before they even put me in the cell, they're like, "Oh, Mr. Dixon, your sister bailed you out. You gonna go."
You're wrong. If it had been a dude hitting there, you would have done it. But it was women on women.
Yes.
That's why you don't jump out the train.
That's what I'm saying. It's women on women. So the dude just jumps out the stands like it's cat reflection, cat reaction. Bam, he's in there. That police officer grabs him up, man. It was a good game.
Exact opposite of Ron Artest.
Yes, it was a good game.
Exactly.
And I hope they see each other again down the line because I think it's going to be a good game. I wouldn't. If I'm the committee right now, they're in two different brackets. Only way they see each other, they got to make it to the championship. That's the only way they're going to get to see each other again. It'd be a championship game because that'd be worth the wait. That'd be worth the wait and go. Guys, I know some of you guys don't watch girls basketball, or some of y'all might do. But I'm gonna tell you right now, guys, girls basketball is taking over NCAA. Because you don't even know who's playing basketball for who no more. NC State almost upset somebody, right, Mo? But I don't know nobody on NC State.
Dude, I don't even watch NC State no more. They made me mad. They made me mad.
See what I'm saying?
I watch NC State women more than I watch NC State men now.
Caitlin and the gang, it got everybody watching girls basketball.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this though. Deuce what Staley said when she said, "I apologize for what happened at this game." She said, "I've been there before. The emotions get the best of you." Blah 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 blah. And she said, "I apologize for it." She tried to correct the wrong what the girls did. But the coach from LSU.
Hey, Kim, can I say something on that?
Go ahead.
Hey, Kim. You remember last week when we were talking about that storm in the court?
Yes.
And what did I say? I said, if you don't want to stop, you're going to have people rushing the court for the wrong reasons. And that's less than a week out. They're already doing it. They need to stop it, man, and start locking some of these people and put them up in jail and make examples out of them and let them lose their good jobs or whatever because they doing something stupid. And that way, they'll think twice about rushing that court.
Well, I know her brother's he probably went to jail. He might have got out by now, but he probably went to jail after that shenanigans he did.
I think he's still illegal.
But the thing about it is, though, is that the coach from LSU said, why did she do that to somebody bigger than her? Somebody big as her. Why does she get a pass for?
Well, can I say something?
Go ahead.
I'll say this. When she said that, I was thinking, Angel Reese was getting bullied all night.
Reese was throwing the elbow.
I was getting bullied in the face, so I don't know where she got that from. That's all I had.
And that's the point.
I can answer that.
That's the point I was getting to. But go ahead, Matthew.
When I watched the press conference after the game, when she said that gave me a thought back to the beginning of LSU's women's season. Because at the beginning of the season, she did not like doing interviews at all, to where she or you didn't see Angel Reese in certain games, and she would deny to answer it on what was going on with her, and he kept her hitting off the block. And a few other teammates, because the coach's behavior felt like that she didn't want certain players playing at the same time due to certain reasons that are unknown. So when she did that interview, was trying to be smart, it kind of reminded me back at the beginning of the season where she's like, she thinks she's the best coach on the court, but in reality, you just make your team look more bad by saying that wording after the apology.
I agree. I don't understand how she gets away with a pass by making the comment she makes. Like, she could say, well, you know, this is not girls basketball. This is not, you know, we play intense basketball. We have emotions get to us sometimes, and we overreact. Again, we got to remember that these are 17, 18, 19, 20, 21-year-old girls playing basketball who are still young. And this is the highest high for girls basketball right now there's ever been. Again, everybody on the panel believe that girls basketball, college basketball has overtaken the nation over boys basketball, right? So you can only imagine what's going to happen during the tournament, right? But for her to make that comment and say, well, why could she pick on somebody big, her same size, made no sense to me. You know what I'm saying? I guarantee you, if Gino would have said that, or Pat would have said that, the reaction would have been completely different, right? I think LSU's coach is very arrogant, right? But why you allow her to get away with that? When the South Carolina coach came out and said, yo, well, to the basketball community, I apologize for what happened. That's not part of basketball. That's not what we are. That's not who we are. That's not what we represent. I will talk to my girls. And I can guarantee you, behind closed doors, them girls probably ran. They probably ran with their tongues was hanging out their mouth. They probably ran. They probably sat around and joked about it. She's like, all right, y'all owe me. Because you got, well, I think one girl on South Carolina actually can't play in the tournament. And I think there's 2 or 3 girls that can't play for South Carolina because they mixed the rules up and they came off the bench, but they didn't get engaged with nobody. They thought because they came off the bench, they was gonna get suspended, which is the pro rule. If you come off the bench on the pros, you're gonna get suspended for the next game. So she kind of got that mixed up, and they did correct themselves. So there's only one girl, I think, from each team, or one girl from LSU. I mean, one girl from South Carolina and 2 from LSU that can't play in the next round, which I don't think they're gonna have a problem with the next round anyway. But again, that makes that I love that. I don't like the fighting part of it, but the intensity that they play with is what we want to see from the boys. We don't want to see, the boys don't show us that because they're too worried about getting to the next level, going to the next level, and playing the next level. You know what I'm saying? The girls play with the emotion on their sleeves, which we all like. That's all we want to see is good basketball. That's all we asking for. We're not asking for nothing else but to watch some good basketball. And the boys don't give it to us. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Georgetown fan, and I like UCLA. I can't name one player on either one of those teams. I'll be honest with you. Guys are jumping. They jumping teams like they change underwear. This NIL, they need to stop.
Yeah.
They need to stop NIL.
Yeah, but you probably don't watch college basketball on the men's division like you watch on the women's. Because I can make the same case for women's basketball. I couldn't tell you 3 players in girls college basketball. I don't watch it.
But you know what,
it
though?
Don't interest me.
But
yeah, give me the NCAA men's basketball. That's where it's at for me. I would take that any day over the NBA or the women's NBA or any of that because I just think that the men's NCAA is where it's at.
But I'm gonna challenge you. I'm gonna challenge you on something, Curry. I love basketball is my first love. I love football, but basketball is my heart. I die basketball. Out of all my sports teams, Boston Celtics are my favorite sports team of all. I love basketball, and I hate to see how basketball has become in the NBA, in college, in high school, how they have wrecked the game of basketball to everything is 3-point shots, 3-point shot. The more you shoot, the more you make. You know, and there's actually no defense in it. But to watch the girls play the pure basketball point of it, where they only dribble between their legs because they have to, not because they want to. They dribble behind their back because they have to, not because they want to. And some of them you got some that could dunk, you got some that can't dunk, but they have the purest shot I've ever seen in my life. Girls do. I don't know why it's like that, but that's the way it is. You know, with guys, they want to add the mustard, the mayonnaise, the pickles, the onions, hold the lettuce.
You missed the sweet shot the other night. Carmen Rand was lighting it up on every side of the court.
For who?
Carolina.
Oh yeah, I'm not. I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm not an ACC guy. I'm not gonna watch that.
Yeah, but you're not an NCAA guy either, because you said you don't know any of the players. It'd be one thing if you didn't know, like the ACC, but you need to have the SEC or some of these other conferences, Big Ten, Pac-12, whatever. But you said you don't know none of the players. You don't follow it. I don't follow women's basketball.
But the reason why I don't follow boys basketball is because it's not as pure as it should be. Because they want to do everything else but play the game of basketball. You know what I'm saying? I watched who did I watch the other day?
I think I don't know what you're saying, because you give me they're not going to sell out an arena like these men's basketball they're going to do. That men's Final Four is going to sell out anywhere in the country. Women is not going to sell out probably nowhere in the country.
It depends on who's the Final Four for the boards. I'm gonna say that. The girls I think the girls game, or the girls game, like I said, their game is pure, right? I don't see girls I don't see girls in there flopping.
Nope.
I don't see that at all. I see them playing good defense. I don't see them try to show off. Those are things that drive me away from boys basketball, because you can just do a normal layup, but you got to take it behind your back, between your legs to make a layup. I get that. If you can do that, that's fine and dandy. But sometimes you don't have to showboat so much, and that's the problem I have with college basketball. Because if you break it down to just play basketball, and I think this is why you look at Gonzaga, you look at what's the other team? Gonzaga. Somebody else used to be patient with the basketball. I can't think who they were, but they used to just be patient with the basketball. They did the basic things well, and they were backdoor. Yes, and that they would backdoor you because players don't have the patience to play defense that whole time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That was their strength. So they played to their strength, and some of these others, they couldn't compete with those other teams if they tried to run and gun with them. So they had to play a little bit more of a different offense.
Right, but my point, Curry, is that it goes back to knowing how to play basic basketball, the fundamentals. If you listen to GMs and NBA talk, their biggest issue is they drafting guys off of talent, and they got to come and teach them how to play basketball. Lonzo Ball, when he went to the Lakers, the reason why they said that he didn't go number one is because Lonzo Ball didn't know how to give a guy the ball in the post. So if the guy's in the post and he has his left hand up, he wants the ball in his left hand. Lonzo Ball was giving him the ball anywhere else but in the left hand. If he's posting the right side, he was giving the ball anywhere else but in the right hand. So you're in college playing basketball, and now you want to go to NBA, and you don't know how to do you don't know how to give a guy a bounce pass in the post or give the ball to him in his right hand with his hand up in the air.
Yeah.
That's the problem that they're having with guys in basketball now, because they don't know the basic fundamentals about basketball, right? This is why this is why that you look at the league right now and you have so many guys from the European League that's playing so well in basketball. Joker, the guy looked like the Michelin Man in a uniform, and he's gonna probably be the MVP in the men's basketball. But he does
it.
But what I'm saying is he does the little things right that makes him good. You know what I'm saying? And so when you draft a guy and you get him and you're like, man, I got to teach this guy how to do this. I got to teach this guy how to do it. And you go back and look at high school, 4 years in high school, he played AAU ball all 4 years. AAU don't teach you how to do no defense. It's all about shooting. You get to college, you play 1 year, and then you're out, and then you go to NBA because you want to make that money. They thought NIL deal was going to stop these guys from doing that, but it's not really stopping them. Only thing it's doing is allowing them to leave one team to go to another team, to go to another team, to go to another team, and then get drafted. You know,
I like that. You see why I like that?
But now if you look at it though, in the NBA, it's not a good thing because at the age of 21, they feel like you probably gonna reach your peak. If you haven't learned how to play the game of basketball at 21 and going to college, I mean from college to the pros, and I'm gonna give you a good example. Mo, what's my man's name? That Grant Williams. Is it Williams? Was it Grant? The one that played for the Celtics. They got traded to
from Tennessee.
Yeah, from Tennessee. Yeah,
Grant Williams played 4 years. He played 4 years in the NBA. He came to the NBA, and his first year he didn't do really good. Second year he exceeded his expectations. Third year he did really, really good. What caused him to be traded from the Celtics was he thought he was better than what he was.
Traded.
Right?
Wasn't traded.
They offered him.
No, he was. You're right. He was originally traded. You're right.
What got him out of Boston was his mouth, right? He thought he was better than what he was. They offered him a contract of $120 million. Guess what he got from the Dallas Mavericks? $120 million. Or something like that. I don't know exactly.
It was like 4 years, $60 million.
I don't know exactly how much he got, but I know the contract that the Celtics had offered him, he turned it down, is the same exact contract he got from the Dallas Mavericks. If he'd have signed that contract with the Boston Celtics, he'd probably still be, but they would tell him, yo, shut up and play basketball. Just play defense. Don't poke the bear. You know what I'm saying? But the reason why he's so good in NBA is because he does have 4 years. So he had 4 years to develop to be a good, decent basketball player in NBA. Now he did get traded again, right? And he's with who's he with? The Pistons or Charlotte Hornets, right? So he's gonna probably he should fit in there. But only thing I'm saying though, I'm not taking nothing away from boys basketball. I'm just saying the reason why I don't watch it is because it's become more of an entertainment than a game. And the same thing with the NBA. It's become more of an entertainment than a game. And that's the part that's really pissing me off because I love the game of basketball so much, and the way they make it seem now, is not fair. To defend. Yes, go ahead. Right, man.
You bring up a good point with the entertainment because I'm a Gonzaga fan in basketball, and as honestly, first since 2006, I can tell you Gonzaga, in my opinion, like they're a college school and they play normal, like they develop a lot of talent, but they have a head coach that's been there since 1989 and has done 711 wins. And been to so many tournaments, but yet has made it to the championship. Basically, I see Gonzaga as like the Dallas Cowboys of college basketball, but in a good way.
And you know who else could be? You know else you could put in that Matthew? You could put Butler in there too. When Brad Stevens was there, Butler was winning, and Brad Stevens came to Boston, brought in some ideas. He couldn't get over the hump either. You know what I'm saying? But I guess he had a better GM than he was a head coach.
Because Mark Few, he graduated from Oregon. And then in '89, he went to Gonzaga as a GA, then an assistant from 90 to 99. And then from 99 to now, he's been the head coach. And he's only 61.
Okay.
And he can go for another 10 to 15 years.
Okay. Let's see here.
Just a heads up, I Kurt Burchett's going to New England.
Wow. They drafted quarterback for sure because he's gonna teach him. He's gonna teach whoever goes there. We got about 15 minutes left. All right. I sent an article to Matthew and to Mo. I don't know if you guys had a chance to read it, but about a transgender woman, Gabrielle Ludwig, returns to college basketball. He's a transgender woman who was a man who's playing girls basketball. I find that appalling. I find that disrespectful. And I guess he couldn't cut it in the men's basketball league, so he wants to play girls basketball. I'm just trying to figure this thing out, guys. How does this make any sense to me, to you, to anybody? It really doesn't make any sense because even though you may be a transgender, you're still a man. You still have the hormones, the testosterone of a man. But how do you allow them to compete with women? I need somebody to help me make sense of this. Do what?
At least she is 50 years old.
Okay. Listen, when you talk about gender, mostly men set these rules. Okay? Can women play male basketball? Is there a restriction for them to play boys or men's basketball? If there's no restriction for them to play a male sport, then there should not be a restriction for a male to play a female sport. Now, we're talking rules here. We're not talking what makes sense. What you're saying doesn't make sense. But we're not talking sense, we're talking rules.
Right. But so let me ask you a question though. Let me ask you a question, Coach Gray. So you had a young lady in high school that ran against transgender, and the girl didn't get a scholarship because she lost it to transgenders because she lost. Now, is that fair? Regardless of the rules,
I had a girl. Listen, I had girls on my football team.
Right.
Whether I liked it or not. Okay? The most brutal sport in the world is if you kill you. One play. Didn't restrict things. Now, we didn't have the transgender title. It was girl or boy. Now you're getting into a third party situation. Okay, so again, it's messy. Okay, so the answer to your question is, well, we're talking gender. And if they think that gender, that kid is now by law a girl or boy, we're not talking gender, we're talking law.
But my question again was, when that girl lost a scholarship, was that fair or was that fair?
Who gave the scholarship?
I don't know. I know this happened a couple years ago. And the mom, the parents were really upset because the girl was getting a scholarship, I think, to South Carolina for track. And she lost she lost a scholarship, but South Carolina now I think South Carolina came back and gave her the scholarship after they found out who she ran against, because nobody knew they were transgender that she ran against, and that was the reason why she lost the scholarship. But I think she actually, I gotta ask Dana, but I think she actually did get a scholarship after it was known that she ran against two males at the track meet. So I think she did get a scholarship. But again, that's where things, and I understand what you're saying, it's the law, it's the law, and it's unfair. But again, I'm like, if if I'm just maybe because I'm old school, and I've seen and I've seen girls football. I seen girls football before. I seen our high school had a girl to come out play football. You know what I'm saying? And if she wants to try out for football, that's fine. But we know she's a girl. But if you go out and play football, and you go out and play you play football, and we don't know you're a girl because you look like a man. And then when you get hit and you find out, well, oh, I'm sorry, this is a girl, and nobody knows, then to me, that's an issue. I'm not saying fair.
Well, we had two boys.
I'm not saying it right.
We had two boys who leave the football program, and they could play field hockey, and they knew they were boys. So there was no gender issue. They knew they were boys. The boys try to prove a point to say, girls can play football, we can play field hockey. And those two boys played field hockey the entire year.
But again,
that's like
see, you
back when I
go ahead, Matthew.
Back when I did wrestling in high school, this was what let us know if we were facing, because I'm old school, so they would let us know, because we never had, I've never had any transgender explanations from the official, but had the official let me know, hey, you're facing a woman in your weight class. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let's go ahead and get this out of the way. Done. Like, I wouldn't be upset about it. Like, it's like cool. We'll face a woman then wrestling.
Okay. And
yeah, I think it's an NCAA issue. You mentioned your question, Ted.
And on my high school team, we had a young lady who played basketball for me that became a wrestler, and she wrestled men. I mean, she wrestled boys, and then she ended up wrestling girls, and she came in second in the state. So it probably does help her better to wrestle guys than to wrestle girls all the time. But again, you know what you're wrestling. You know she's a girl, right? And should you take it easy on her because she's a girl? No, because she knows what she's in for, right? But I just think that sometimes I'm gonna say this, everything ain't for everybody, right? I'm just gonna say that. That's all I'm saying. And you have football for women, you have football for men, and if the girls want to cross over, that's fine. For a guy to cross over to girls sports, I don't know. I just think
there's a red flag. There's a red flag on that.
Well, I don't agree with it for a safety issue. Period. Okay. But at the same time, I mean, we have our opinions. Opinion doesn't always mean anything.
Right. So I got a question right that came up on here. Taz Dizzy says, I understand the laws and rules, but I agree with Kate Dix. I can't imagine my bio daughter boxing or wrestling against a trans woman. I'm a member of the LGBT. So she agreed with it, but she said she can't imagine it happening. And let's say, for example, you're boxing a transgender, boxing another female.
Those are choices
yeah, right. It is choices, but again, I think still you still got the testosterone of a man in your body. Some of it has gone, but you still have some of it there. You know, I'm just saying.
It's regulation. It's all about regulation, okay, right? You have a Supreme Court that's just overturned Roe v. Wade and told a woman under no circumstances will abortion be legal in America.
And they're retarded for it.
But they took their choices away.
Yeah, they're retarded for it.
So where do we draw the line in sports?
Can't use the word anymore.
They can take a woman's choice away from them. Why can't you do the same thing in a situation like this? Agree with this
you know, I'm gonna say this. I think Congress should be the one to regulate it, and I'm gonna go off of this a little bit because if you let's think about child support, right? So you had men paying child support for kids till they got even when they was in college, right? As long as they're in college, you had to pay child support. So what happens is you get a congressman who has a son who has a baby, and he comes back and says, "My son should have to pay for my child pay for that child to go to college. It should be both the parent, the mom, and the dad to help him go to college. My son shouldn't be the one paying child support for him in college because that's his choice. That's his choice to go to college. My son doesn't have to pay for that. So what did Congress go and do? At 17 or 18 years old, after 17, 18, they got to pay child support no more. So it got to affect the right people in order for it to be changed. You know what I'm saying? So it's not affecting them, so they're not going to make that change.
Well, of course, the law protects the minor child up until the age of 17.
Right, but
the court has the jurisdiction over that child.
But they change
it. Someone has to care for that child.
Right. I'm not saying you should have to care for the child, but the reason why it got changed to 17 is because you had a congressman who had a son who had some babies, and he said he should have to take care of them after 17. So they changed the law, and now it's at 17 or 18 or when you're whenever you graduate from high school. So again, when it affects certain people, then certain people want to change the rules, right? They want to change the rules. But when it affects you, me, and Harry down the street, we don't matter.
Right. That's right. That's right. Right. So again, there are high school associations, college associations, and NCAA. But NCAA is grade to the inner college, right? Mm-hmm. That's the governing body for 8 years, who says if you come to high school as a freshman, you have to operate under this rule, this grade point average in order to participate in sport.
Right.
Right? So they already have rules set up for that. So why can't they say for transgender or non-transgender what the rules and what the regulations are going to be for this sport? They can. They just don't have the balls to do it.
It doesn't affect them. They don't have nobody in the family that's been in that situation. They may have.
There's also a moneymaker.
Right. They might have a distant cousin that's doing it, and they like, I don't really care about. I see them once a year at family reunion. I don't care about them. It's just that cut and dry, man. It's
just a mess.
And my thing is, I just want to see fair play. That's all I want to see is fair play.
Yeah.
You know.
Absolutely.
That's all we want to see is fair play. One thing before we get out of here, we want to talk about Caitlin and how she's put women basketball on the map. I said last week I think the girl could play in the pros. The defense that they don't play, because she can shoot that ball. I think she's going to be the face of the WNBA with coming. There's some people that's hating on her. I don't know why. Because WNBA has evolved into something good now. We just talked about NCAA, how NCAA tournament for girls is blossoming better than the men's are. But I didn't know this though. I didn't know this, that in the WNBA you gotta be 22 years old to be drafted. I didn't know that. I read up on this, like, wow. So
now I knew the NBA has that rule.
So you're in college you're in college for at least 4 years before you can go to WNBA, which to me don't make sense. It don't make sense to me.
Well,
I'm not saying
it may be a hard to do the most professional sports out there.
I could probably see this changing. And the thing about it is, Caitlin Clark record will probably stand if they do change, because they're going to leave soon. They're going to leave before the 4 years is out. But Mo, I don't know. You watching something on TV? The game don't come on
No,
to
I'm
10
here.
o'clock.
No, I'm here. 10:30 actually.
Give me your thoughts.
10:30 actually.
I know. Give me your thoughts on Caitlin Clark. How you think she's going doing in
And see,
WNBA?
this is what I was looking up. So you think I was watching the game? I was looking at the only woman that actually has been drafted by the NBA.
It was oh my God.
That's your homework.
Really
I ain't gonna tell you her name then. Lucia Harris.
I don't know what that is. I was
Exactly.
thinking
I didn't know
Bird.
they. I think it was a woman that I met in New York. I mean, in
I
Boston,
thought
rather.
it was Sue Bird. I thought it was Sue Bird.
No, not Sue Bird. No. Louisa Harris was drafted in
Louisa
the NBA
Harris
in
was drafted in the
1977.
NBA in 1977.
Only woman that's ever been drafted
Only
by an
woman that's
NBA
ever
team.
been drafted by an NBA team.
Where she play basketball at?
New Orleans picked her in the seventh round of the 1977 NBA draft. She's going to be 6'3",
6'3",
Delta State.
Delta State.
Yeah, I thought there were other women that have been drafted. I was looking at women that have been drafted. She's the only one I found. Caitlin Clark could be drafted in the NBA. If I was an expansion team in Seattle, I would draft Caitlin Clark.
Ah, yeah.
I would do it.
She can shoot the ball. And the young lady they got out at USC, I can't think of her name right now. I can't get it. So
Juju. How you gonna forget her name? Juju.
Yeah. Yo, she gonna be.
That's right.
Nice.
You're not a Steelers fan.
My bad.
What USC got to do with Steelers?
Juju. That's where Juju came from.
Oh man, stop.
Hey, he got a ring in Kansas City.
Oh my God. All right, real quick. Black History. Do you got anything you want to talk about the Celtics? Because I'm like fed up with them right now.
Nah, they better win tonight.
Well, you got half the team not starting, but it is what it is. All right, you want me to do my Black History first?
It's up to you. We only got 3 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll let you go because I know you gotta leave. You gotta leave it at exactly 9. Go ahead.
All right. Harriet Tubman. Born March of 1822. March 10th. She died March 10th, 1913. She was born in Auburn, New York. Yeah, it ain't Philly. I got to get in my Philly take every time. Anywho, Harriet Tubman, born Amamenta Ross, was an American abolitionist and political activist born into slavery. Tubman escaped and subsequently made some 13 missions to rescue approximately 70 enslaved people, including friends and families, using a network of anti-slavery activists and safe houses known as the Underground Railroad. During the American Civil War, he served as an armed scout and spy for the Union Army. Didn't know that until I looked it up. In her later years, Tubman was an activist in the movement for women's suffrage. Born enslaved in Dorchester County, Maryland, Tubman was beaten and whipped by various masters as a child. Early in life, she suffered a traumatic head wound when an irate overseer threw a heavy metal weight intended to hit another enslaved person, but hit her instead. The injury caused dizziness, pain, and spells of hypersomnia, which occurred throughout her life. After her injury, Tubman began experiencing strange visions and vivid dreams, which she ascribed to premonitions from God. These experiences, combined with her Methodist upbringing, led her to become devoutly religious. In 1849, Tubman escaped to Philadelphia, only to return to Maryland to rescue her family soon after. Slowly, one group at a time, she brought relatives with her out of the state and eventually guided dozens of other enslaved people to freedom. Traveled by night and in extreme secrecy, Tubman, also known as Moses, never lost a passenger. After the Fugitive Slave Act of 1850 was passed, he helped guide fugitives farther north in the British Northern America, which is now Canada, and helped newly freed enslaved people to find work. Tubson met John Brown in 1858 and helped him plan and recruit supporters for his 1869 raid on Harper's Ferry. When the Civil War began, Tubman worked for the Union Army, first as a cook and nurse, and then as an armed scout and spy. The first woman to lead an armed expedition in the war, she guided the raid on Combahee Ferry, which liberated more than 700 enslaved people. After the war, she returned to her family home on property she had purchased in 1859 in Auburn, New York, where she carried on for her cared for her aging parents. She was active in the women's suffrage movement until illness overtook her, and she had been admitted to a home for elderly African Americans that she helped to establish years earlier. After her death in 1913, she became an icon of courage and freedom. She needs to replace. She needs to be on the $20 bill. I'm tired of that slave owner being on the $20 bill because that's the one that I use the most. I want to see Harriet Tubman on the $20 bill. And unfortunately, when Trump becomes president, because ain't no more black people going out and vote, yeah, I'm challenging y'all to go out and vote. When he does it, he's still gonna keep her off. So just remember, you heard it here first. And yes, she did pick people out of Philly. I don't know why she should have left him there.
If there's several movies of Harriet Tubman out there. So if you don't know anything about Harriet Tubman, I guarantee you I challenge you to go watch those. Mo's probably going to leave anyway. I'm not gonna do my. I'm not, Mo. Before you leave, real quick, I'm not gonna do my my Black History moment. I'm gonna do I just want to give you guys something. Which NFL teams have never had the first round pick? There's 3 teams.
Number one pick.
Yeah, never had a number 1 pick. Mo, give me one.
I know one.
Go to Matthew. I know the Steelers have.
No, I don't want to go to Matthew. I want. Let me see who we got. I'm gonna lose Matthew last. Rich.
San Francisco.
You got an answer for that one?
San Francisco.
No. Rich, you got an answer?
What was the question?
The question was, which NFL team has never had the first round pick? There's only been 3 teams that have never had a first round pick.
Number 1 pick.
Number one pick. The number 1 pick. Excuse me.
They never had the number 1 pick.
Yes.
I'm gonna say Dallas.
No.
Correct.
Oh, they had one. Baltimore. I don't think they had one.
Yep. That's one of them.
I'm trying to think of teams since expansion.
We know the Cleveland Browns have.
Shut up. Coach Mo. Coach Mo.
Coach Mo.
I mean, Coach Gray.
Yeah, I'm thinking Pittsburgh.
No, not Pittsburgh.
No, we had Terry Bradshaw.
Lou.
And Wisham got well.
No. Matthew.
Seattle.
Yeah. Do you know?
Yeah.
Do you know that the third team?
I played the fifth.
Saints.
But I played the fifth as well.
Matt, Rich, who is it? Who?
Denver.
Yeah, Denver Broncos. That was it.
Oh yeah.
So the only 3 teams have never held the first pick in the draft is Denver Broncos, Baltimore Ravens, and Seattle Seahawks. Wow, ain't that something? And all 3 teams have won a Super Bowl. All right. So I'm not gonna do my
They traded out of it.
Denver got Elway. which I think they didn't trade out of that one. Seattle, I don't know who does Seattle have? Yo, she's something else. She said Denver. She has Ravens, Denver, and Seattle. So she looked it up. Um, Matthew, who was the Seattle pick? Was that Kurt Warner, the running back?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay. No, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. They never had it. They never had the first round pick. I was thinking something. else.
Yeah, we never
had it. So that's kind of interesting. Denver, Baltimore, and Seattle. And then the other question was, I found it I found this on something. I was doing something. Oh, it's a list of overall picks in the NFL draft. It says which NFL team has had the most #1 overall picks. Anybody want to take? No. Anybody else want to take a stab at this? Anybody want to guess?
Tampa Bay.
No. It would be the Indianapolis Colts and the Los Angeles Rams have both held the #1 overall pick 7 times. The Rams traded up to acquire the #1 selection in 2016 before drafting California quarterback Jared Goff in 2000 and 2012. The Colts drafted Stanford quarterback Andrew Luck as a heir apparent of Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning. That's the other question. The other one was, this is an easy one. Which position is most often picked as #1 pick? Unsurprisingly, quarterbacks is the most frequently selected position at #1 overall. 34 quarterbacks have been drafted first overall since 1936. A quarterback has been the first pick in 4 of the last 5 draft and 6 of the last 10. Running backs 23 ranked second, while defensive linemen 15 comes in third. That's some crazy stuff right there, guys. Crazy stuff. All right, guys, that's my show for today. I'll hit you guys up next Monday. Look, she said, Google it for everyone. Laugh out loud. See, she's tripping. I'll see you tomorrow. Cleveland. No, nada. All right, guys. I appreciate y'all hanging out with me, man. Y'all have a good night. God bless. Hey, Coach Gray.
Yes, sir.
Did you done with that paperwork?
Oh, I have to talk to the team.
Okay.
Tomorrow.
Okay.
We'll get it in as we need to plan it out.
Okay, because my the person that does the facilities asked me about it, asked me what we're still doing. So I said, yeah. I said,
right.
I'm just waiting on the paperwork to come back from the guy that wants to have this stuff.
Yeah, we have to take the date. Once we get the dates, we'll put it in.
Okay. All right. Also,
all right. Thanks.
All right. Also, if you're watching the show and you're from Harrisburg, I want to let you know that we're doing a high school Hall of Fame ceremony in April. Let me pull up the information. I promised some guys I would put it on. I would announce it on the show. I almost forgot it. So let me see if I can find it. Let's see if we can go on there real quick. Nation. Oh man, let's see. Okay. So basically what it is we don't have a Hall of Fame. This would be the inaugural Hall of Fame, Athletic Hall of Fame for Harrisburg High School, which would include William Penn, John Harris, and Harrisburg High. It'll be Saturday, April 27th at 2024. If you need tickets, get in contact with me. I will sell you tickets. Tickets are $40 per person. It's a brunch. It's a lunch. A breakfast. And then we haven't decided yet when we're going to introduce everybody. It will probably be at a football game. Hopefully it's not the first game because I won't be. I'll be in Las Vegas. But if you want to come join us, you can. We'll be at the Hilton, having a good time. This will be the first inauguration of high school players for Harrisburg School District. Like I said, again, it's going to be William Penn. It'll be John Harris and Harrisburg High Harrisburg High and William Penn, John Harris and William Penn became one, so it's Harrisburg High now. So if you need tickets, let me know. I have about I think I got like 6 left. They're going fast. We're like at 215. I think we're looking at maybe I want to say maybe 300 people. And tickets are going by really fast. If you're supportive of Harrisburg High, any aspect of William Penn or John Harris, please come out support. This is just the first one, and we'll be doing more after that as time goes on. Some people
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
Who's getting in?
It's we're gonna have a list. Probably tomorrow we're gonna post it on Facebook of all the names getting in.
I heard the rest of the dates again.
Yeah, I wish she was. Was she gonna be there? Hey, Rich, what year did you come out of Harrisburg High?
93. I was there when Frank Tate and
Okay.
Gary Junior Granderson.
Junior Grants is in. He wrestler. He's in. For sure.
Yeah.
I think Pint is in there too. I'm not for sure. He might be on the next ballot. I'm not for sure. Because I had a list of people like my list. Yeah, my list was easy because I had Raymond Isom, guys like that. You know, Ray, because I mean I know Ray personally. We're friends. We're actually family. His cousin is married to. His cousin, his wife and my wife are cousins. So we see each other every now and then. I'll be trying to get Ray to come on the show, but you know how humble Ray is. Ray don't want to talk about how he smacked Michael Irvin in the head in that Orange Bowl when they beat Miami. He's humble like that. He don't want to, he's not that guy to talk that talk.
Right.
But yeah, it's a football. We're doing the girls track team. We're doing the boys basketball team. The 98 and 2002 state finals. They're getting in as well. So it's a list of stuff going on. It's gonna be a good time, man. And again, this is something that we've been trying to do, and we finally got it together. It's a lot of hard work, and I'm just part of the team, just trying to make this thing run smooth and do the best we can with what we got, because we don't have anything, and we need to start showing the legacy of all the people that support that came out and play sports. We got like Jimmy Jones, who played at USC.
Yeah, I was just up there. Jimmy Jones getting in there?
Yeah, his name's on the list. We have Charles Dudley, I think it is, who played with Golden State Warriors. He's in. Mitchell, that played with San Francisco 49ers. He's in there. He's in there. I'm sure. I'm pretty sure that Michael Parsons is on there as well. It's a list of guys, man.
How was Michael on there?
Well, it's a rating system. And
played with us for a half a year.
Well, but the thing about it is, it's a rating system that you go by, and you have like if you win the mid-pen, you win the districts, and you go to states, that kind of qualifies you for things of that nature. So it's a point system that we have that gets people in. But basically what we want, but basically what we were trying to do was trying to get all John Harris, William Penn people in first, and then we're gonna trickle down to Harrisburg High. And get those guys in as well. So, and basically what's going to happen is their name's going to be engraved inside the field house, and there on the wall. So it's something great we're trying to do, man. And we just want to show, we just want to be like everybody else, man. And just show people that we can do great things for great people that sacrifice their time to play sports for Harrisburg High, to put Harrisburg High on the map. So that's all we're trying to do. I want my name on it too, but I wasn't really that good at track, football, or basketball. I just was a player.
Like, I wasn't really good at any sport.
I was better. I was a better track. I long jump, triple jump, high jump. I'm 5'7", and my best high jump was 6'2". I won districts. I mean, I came in second in districts, and I didn't place in the states. But again, I always had hops. I could always jump. I couldn't dunk the basketball in high school because my hands was too small. But I ended up, and when I went to Marine Corps, when I went to the service, that's when I started dunking the basketball because my hands wasn't too big, but I could get over that rim. But basketball was my first love, and then I ran track. Football, I played football just to have something to do. I played Z-back. I remember one time we had a scrimmage game, and I just ran straight down the field, and they threw Lonnie McGraw threw me the ball. I scored a touchdown. Coach came back and said, "Good catch." He said, "But you ran the wrong play." I said, "But I scored a touchdown." He said, "But you ran the wrong play." I was like, "Okay." So it was one of those things, man. Coach Hand was my coach back then, but it is what it is. Nothing but love.
Coach Hamilton.
Yeah. Good dude, man. He's a good dude.
He was there when I first got there. Okay. That bitch gave me a concussion in my freshman year, so I quit football.
Hey, listen. Yo, they used to put me on a practice squad, right? I run so fast. They were like, "Yo, ain't nobody gonna hit you." I said, "I'm running like a dog chasing me." I said, "Y'all are not gonna hit me. Y'all not gonna tear me. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not that dude. I'm not." I think that's how I ended up becoming quick and fast. All right, man. Hey, Rich, you live in Harrisburg, right?
Yeah.
Okay, we got to get together, man. We got to get together one day so we sit down and chew the fat. Chew the fat. All right, guys, man. I appreciate everybody.
Absolutely.
I thank everybody for hanging out with me tonight, man. Had a lot of fun. Talked a lot of sports. Next week, we're definitely gonna get involved in this basketball with the tournament. Also, everybody check out the tournament pick. Matthew put it out there. It's gonna go off a point system. It doesn't really mean you can still win even if you don't get your final four.
Perfect bracket.
Yeah, if you don't get a perfect bracket, you can still win. So it's out there. Make sure you guys join in. The prizes right now will be in the zone sports t-shirt, a long sleeve, a short sleeve, and a hat maybe, because it takes so long to get the hats back. I might do the hat myself, and $100 a Visa gift card if you win. None of the hosts can win, like myself, Matthew, Mo, or Dana. We can participate, but we can't win because that's not going to be fair to anybody else out there. So hopefully you guys can join in with that as well. All right, guys. Hey, man, y'all have a good night. God bless. Be safe. You got something to say?
Matthew.
Matt.
Yeah, can you pin it to the top of the page?
Hey, Matthew.
Yes.
Can you pin that to the top of the page if you can?
Yeah, sure,
okay.
Absolutely.
All right, thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Good.
All right, guys.
I'll see y'all next week.
All right.
Thank you for listening to the Just Us Sports Talk Show. You have been entertained in the sports world by KD from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, the small city with a large heart, Dana the Hater Clark from St. Petersburg, Florida, and Murray E. Baskerville from Gotta Be More Careful, Baltimore, Maryland. Remember, we throw stones and we do live in glass houses. Big-time players make big-time plays and big-time games. Be ready. You have been listening to an In the Zone Sports Talk Radio production. Remember, you can hear us again on star107fm.com on Saturdays from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure to download the Try99 TV app on any smart device and subscribe to In the Zone Sports Talk Television. The cost is $4.95. Thank you in advance for your support.